Gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it. Over the stand goal. Havlicek stole the ball.
Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback thinking he's in for the touchdown. The Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions.
Affirmed under a left-hand whip. Alliar on the outside driving. Affirmed to Alliar. Heads apart.
Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7-15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
Julius Winfield Erving II, also known as Dr. J. Spectacular? Yes. Incredible? Definitely. Better than me? Well, I don't know about that. I'm Ken Howard, in some circles known as the White Shadow.
Hey, Julius, what's the matter? Nobody give you a game?
Coach told me to work on my left hand, Ken.
You oughta. I saw you miss one.
I missed more than one before my career's
Don't
over.
hit everything. You never get a game.
How you doing?
Good.
Now, don't be fooled by our shaking hands. It lulls him into a false sense of security. You see, the good doctor and I are going to play some one-on-one later. I hope to emerge victorious. I don't see why not, just because he's the most exciting basketball player on earth. But watch my form. Swish. It's a beautiful thing to look at, isn't it? The doctor doesn't know what he's in for. But before he finds out, we're going to take a look at his remarkable career.
Tell me about it.
Once I play you one-on-one, you understand it's all different. Because I jump so high and I move so well without the ball.
Plus you get the dribble.
Yes. Tell me about the other guys at Roosevelt High School on your team. You weren't just like alone out there with four guys trying to keep up, right? You were playing with some pretty good ball players, even back
I
then.
played with good guys, yeah. We had a couple of juniors who I thought had more potential than I had.
You were shorter. You were 6'2", 6'3", like that going through high school. And then...
Yeah, when I graduated from high school, I was about 6'3" and a half. During the basketball season, I played at 6'2" and a half, 6'3", and was thusly recruited as a 6'3" player who college coaches didn't know whether they'd want to play at guard or forward.
Your college coach must have had tears in his eyes as he watched you keep growing. I couldn't believe it was happening to him. Just keep going, kid.
Well, hopefully they were tears of pleasure.
To the delight of all University of Massachusetts partisans, Julius Erving chooses UMass and makes his presence known immediately.
Julius Erving. The pass. Erving intercepts over the midcourt line. He's all alone. Erving in for the layup. Good for two.
In his sophomore year, he leads the Yankee Conference in scoring and is second in the nation in rebounding. In Erving's 2 years with the UMass varsity, he leads them to 2 NIT appearances.
He's going in for a layup. Here comes Erving. Erving goes up and, blocks the shot. Can this kid play?
Now, look, let's get away from here, because later I intend to destroy you in one-on-one, you understand? But we've got some other stuff to talk about.
That's okay. That's okay.
Come on. All right, now, 3 years after you're there, you go hardship. Now, you're a business major, right? You got a sense of business, you think.
I was trying to develop a sense of business at that time, yeah.
And so, $500,000 contract, you're sitting down in a hotel room. I figure, kid from Long Island, 21 years old, your head's got to be spinning at this point. And what was that like? I mean, those choices and those decisions right then.
Well, it was an unforgettable experience. And ironically, when I met with the Virginia Squires owner, Earl Foreman, and the coach, Al Bianchi, that first time, it was him.
The doctor signs with Virginia for $500,000 over 4 years. The investment proves justified. He leads the ABA in scoring his second year, but then he's sold to the New York Nets.
I don't anticipate having problems playing with any of the Nets. I think, I can play basketball with anybody as long as our objectives are the same, and that is to win.
The doctor leads the Nets into the 1974 finals versus Utah. He scores a total of 92 points in 3 straight net victories.
Erving with the basketball inside the half-court line, goes up. It's a 40-footer and in.
After losing Game 4, the Nets still need only 1 victory to clinch, and the doctor responds.
Coach Kevin Lockery's Nets in control. trying to make his move. Goes left, stops, goes up with a jumper, and it's good! And the Nets win the championship. Julius Erving comes back to New York, his hometown, and wins a championship. He couldn't ask for anything more.
On the outside, it seemed like the best thing that could happen to a professional athlete. As it turned out, it did cause a few problems, none which stopped me from performing on the court. Some acquaintances come out of the woodwork and treat you like you were their best friend. So there was a downside to it, but the success we had with the New York Nets was something that really has been unparalleled in my whole basketball career.
After the 1974 season, Erving continues to amaze. He wins the ABA's Most Valuable Player in 1975 and in 1976, and brings the Nets into the ABA's last championship finals versus the Denver Nuggets. Once again, the doctor seems to perform miracles as the Nets take a 3-2 game lead.
The Nets lead the series 3-2, but trail by 13 in this one. Julius Erving with the basketball. Down the left side, they double him up. Tim Bassett alone underneath. Erving finds him. Oh, my, good for two.
At one point, the Nets are down by 22, but they begin to fight back. They finally take the lead in the fourth quarter behind John Williamson's hot hand.
Erving passes to Williamson. The jumper's up and good, and the Nets win 112-106. Their second championship in 3 years.
There are some nicknames in sports that describe the athlete to perfection. The Brown Bomber, the Juice, the Doctor. I asked Julius where he got the nickname Dr. J.
Well, I'm glad you asked me that because there are a lot of different stories as to how I got the nickname Dr. J. And originally it was just a doctor, and a couple years afterwards it became Dr. J. But back in high school, played ball all the time, almost all the time, with a friend of mine who was very argumentative, and he'd get out on the playground, and no matter what happened, right or wrong, it was supposed to be his ball. You probably play with guys like that, it can go off his leg, and he'd say, "No, you pushed me, so I got to take the ball out." And his arguments turned to lectures, at least by the time they hit my ears, so I started calling him the professor. And anytime I see him, I'd always give him a big greeting. I'd say, "Hey, professor, what's happening?" And he reciprocated one day. He said, "How you doing, doctor?"
And so now the NBA gets to see the doctor. Now, Julius, when you showed up on the 76ers roster, they had All-Stars George McGinnis, Doug Collins, they had Lloyd Freed, the Prince of Midair, and we've been talking a lot about freedom. Now, was this inhibiting?
It was very comparable to putting together a type of team that Los Angeles had when they had Chamberlain, West, and Baylor all playing at the same time. You know, you had three guys capable of giving a team 30 points a game, or, you know, any one of the guys going out and getting 50 or 60.
on a given night.
With forward George McGinnis, sixth man Lloyd Free, and all-star guard Doug Collins playing alongside Erving, the 76ers win their division title comfortably and play their way into the finals against the Portland Trailblazers and Bill Walton. Portland boasts a strong front line. The 6'10 Walton and power forward Maurice Lucas paved the way to a 4-2 Portland victory. For his part, the Doctor averages 30 points a game during the series. The next year, the Washington Bullets stop the 76ers. Erving averages 22 in a losing effort. And in 1979, the San Antonio Spurs and George Gervin eliminate the Sixers.
Now, Julius, fans in Philadelphia are known to be tough. I mean, they're a hard-nosed crowd, and yet, even though losing in the playoffs, you come back and they are devoted to you. I mean, Dr. J is their hero and their leader.
Bobby Jones with the ball, finds Julius Erving, drives to the basket, goes up and... an unbelievable shot! Listen to the fans, win or lose, they just love the Doctor!
Now, you are an inspiring player to kids, to fans, and also to other players. And I think I always felt, you would know better than I, that Cunningham felt that, and that some of the trades were brilliant trades, bringing in Bobby Jones and opening up that offense, but giving you a little bit more room. And it seemed that the 76ers had it together, 79-80.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the starting lineup for the 1979-80 Philadelphia 76ers. At center, number 53, Darryl Dawkins.
Everybody for Philadelphia 76ers. Here they come, Philadelphia on the run.
At forward, number 11, Caldwell Jones.
Philadelphia, here they come, team of the year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
At guard, number 10, Maurice Cheeks. At the other guard, number 9, Lionel Holland. And at forward, number 6, Julius Erving.
The 76ers win 59 games for the season, beat the Washington Bullets in the opening round of the playoffs, and go on to defeat the Atlanta Hawks in the quarterfinals. Next, they face their long-standing rival, the Boston Celtics, in the semifinals.
Julius moving on Larry Bird. He's by Bird. Left hand, right hand, spin move. Up for the sensational field goal by Julius Erving.
The 76ers win the Boston series in 5 games, pausing only briefly for a celebration before the final series. The final series features Erving and the 76ers against Jabbar and the Lakers. Both players play brilliantly in the first 4 games, and the series is tied at 2 games apiece. Then in the 5th game, the lead changes hands throughout.
Cooper trying to get the ball inside of Jabbar. He does. Kareem puts it on the floor, moves on Caldwell Jones, up and good, and then he tumbles over line.
Kareem got hurt in that fifth game in L.A. and went out for the 8-minute stretch. But they held their own, and when he came back, it became a one-point basketball game in which we lost. And then when we came back home, we were playing 2 tied up.
But Magic Johnson ruins the 76ers' chances with one of the greatest games in playoff history. Magic scores 42 points, and teammate Jamal Wilkes adds 37 to give the Lakers the 1980 championship.
They didn't have their big guy, and they had nothing to lose. And obviously, Magic, played best game of his pro career.
That's your word, freedom again.
And
they were wide open.
He didn't have anything to lose, and he looked good in doing that. And Jamal played his best game of the season.
Now, in the 80-81 season, you had a terrific year, you and all of the 76ers. Then you had the Celtics down 3-1, the optimum situation you've talked about, where you're free to just go in and blow them away.
Definitely the pressure should have been on them, and they responded well to it.
Score at 89. Bird's going to put it up. Here's a long jumper by Bird, the back shot. Cheeks' free throw has pulled the 76ers to within one. Here's Tiny Archibald with the ball for Boston. The clock ticking off. Over to Carr. Open jump shot for ML. Shot is up and no good. And a scramble for the rebound. Caldwell Jones has the hand on it. Bounces the ball loose and it comes up to Bobby Jones. Jones with the ball. Timeout. 1 second left. Bobby Jones will put the ball in play. Here's the high lob pass to the baseline. Intended for Julius Erving. He cannot get it.
I don't think anyone should take away from what the Celtics were capable of achieving by saying Philadelphia choked or what have you. You don't go and act like an ostrich and stick your head in a hole and hide. You do the things you have to do in the offseason, and you come back with a more mature perspective and a good attitude, and dedicate yourself to what you have to do.
I want you to know something now, Julius. I want to see the 76ers win. I want to see you lead them to victory. So when we go in the gym and play one-on-one, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to take it easy on you.
You going to take it easy on me?
I won't go up over you and slam too much, because, you could get hurt. And you're aging, not like me.
You're not going to go around me either?
I won't beat you going either way, but only because it's my choice. You understand this?
I might want to pass on this game if you're just going to lay down. We don't want that. We'd like to earn it.
This is it, the showdown. Showdown? What am I, crazy? He'll destroy me. How can I beat Dr. J? I gotta be cool.
Are you ready for this?
Ken Reeves,
Here we go again.
former Chicago Bull, averaged 6 points a game.
Another one.
Now the coach at Carver High. Are you ready for that?
Is he serious?
Highs or evens? Odds.
My ball. Winners take out.
First mistake, yep. What did I say? Winners take out.
Winners take out. Okay. I'll check.
Check.
Okay, the game's only 5. Maybe I can get lucky and stop him somehow. Hey, maybe not. Come on, Ken. Tough defense now. Stay with him. You got him. No, you don't. Hey, 2-zip. Doctor's really serious about this. 3-zip. I gotta stop him somehow. I know. I'll make him shoot from 25 feet. Wonderful. 4-zip. I'll break his concentration. Come on, Julius. Make him laugh. Aha! It worked. All right, it's my ball. I can just make one shot on the great Dr. J. Huh? Please, please. Aha! Yes, maybe now I'll have some respect. I guess not.
Well, I guess I show you.
Julius Winfield Erving II. Man of 1,000 moves. Julius Erving, the most spectacular player in basketball history. Dr. J.
Here is a list of some of the other athletes